Hello, everyone. I am Alex.
Hello, I'm Mariella.
Yeah, and we are here today to talk about the energy coming in August, what we've been hearing, what has been coming up for us, and pull some cards and look into this month. So, me and Mariella were just talking, and I was reflecting on how July for myself, and I know parts of her as well, was super intense. And not that the intensity has lessened, but I wonder if there's like more space, like more capacity to hold it, or more trust that it will pass. I'm not sure what it is, but because there's still lots of like shifting and moving. And I don't
Yeah,
know. What are your thoughts about that, Mariella?
yeah, it felt in July like things were moving and things were like coming out to the light. You could see things more. And I myself could not hold things inside.
Mhm.
So people knew what I was thinking and what I was feeling. And it was really nice to just let it all out. I was telling Alex that I don't feel like I have gone through the whole circle back again. Like I don't feel like there was a conclusion
Mhm.
that will make me feel peace yet. And it almost like reflects the energy right now that things are still moving.
Mhm.
And for the next years, I've heard, I don't know if you heard, Alex, it's almost like we go through rebirth and things of course have to change in many ways, macro and micro,
Mhm.
but then we have to almost see how are we going to maintain what
Mhm.
we have found, and like the good things, the good changes that we see, how are we going to stay there?
Mhm.
And so it's exciting times because things are hugely changing.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there was lots of like unearthing internally for a lot of people.
Hmm.
Like, and so then like exactly things came up, came up and out, or up to the surface to be seen
Yeah.
more clearly. And then now it's about, well, first of all, is there anything else there? And what now that that's up, like now that that is up, what are we going to do with it? Like now, what are we going to do with the space? What are we going to do with what came up? How is it actually going to, yeah, I like how you talked about the rebirth, because I feel
Yeah.
like that is a big piece that we're all going through internally. We had the big shift into the change of nodes for Aries into Libra, which was like a really big shift, and like a whole bunch of things shifted like at the same time. It was a lot. And then we got Venus retrograde, and um it's a big one. Like, so I was listening to this one astrologer on this podcast speaking about how the outer planets are closer than they've been in a long time. And so when it goes through these phases of the outer planets being so close, they have greater impact, because people would say, like, people, I even myself, like, why does it seem more impactful right now? Like, why now as opposed to before? And it's just those outer planets, which are like the bigger aspect, societal, like the deepest realms of self and consciousness and spirituality. They're all like close. They're all closer, and they're like the way they're aligning in this closeness is
And
bigger.
how it affects the energy in the earth. And
Yeah.
right.
So we do have periods of time where it's generally a little bit more peaceful energetically, or more whatever, but we're the intensity is more for a reason. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. It's not stopping anytime soon, but it's for a
No,
great revolution of,
yeah, big changes.
yeah,
And it's for us to move forward.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And so August, I was telling Alex, is almost like it has this feeling like nothing's moving so much after July.
Mhm.
But still it feels like something under is moving. Um and also I see in general with people around me that during the last, I don't know, could it be the last 2 years that people have had big decisions and changes in their lives? I've seen people moving places to live somewhere else, and other people that just are moving houses or changing jobs, um, maybe separating from like relationships
Lots of that.
and
Yeah.
moving on and finding other relationships. Um, and so yeah, it's not only that we can see that big changes are coming in big terms like the world and the climate. We can see so many changes with climate. I
Mhm.
don't know what it is. I don't know what's the cause of it, but for sure, like we have had the biggest fires in Canada for the longest time.
Yeah.
There's other places that have had floodings and places that have never had floodings in, I don't know, for a long time, and they've had them this year. Uh, and so, yeah, it's very interesting what's happening. And they say the earth is cleaning
Mm.
herself, right?
Mhm.
So I wonder what it means, because we are like a point here in Alberta, we were very dependent on oil.
Mhm.
And there's some people that want to move away from oil and other people that want to stay with it. I don't know where is that going, because before it looked like there was this group of people that wanted to move more into renewable energy,
Mhm.
and they were making plans for it. And now it looks like we moved back
Mm.
and they are going back to the old oil and um, hydroelectricity. So, for example, before we had a grant for families that wanted to have the solar panels in their
Mm.
houses,
Mhm.
that would reduce a lot of cost. But
Mhm.
now that was taken away. So it's almost like, going back a little bit to what was before. I'm not saying that that's not
Mm.
progress, but um, it's interesting. I want to know the new generations, how are they going to come with new plans, right?
Mhm.
What's coming next? And I have been talking to kids these last 3 weeks, and it's so amazing to just watch how they think and how they observe their own parents.
Mm.
And just thinking for themselves what is good for them, and like just watching what has been and what they want for themselves in the future, just
Mm.
watching right now. So yeah, I'm excited to see what comes after.
Mm.
New
Me too.
ideas.
Yeah. And it's funny because I feel like our generation can't even imagine, because like we will accept it and embrace it. I hope we'll have the capacity to do that. But um yeah, because they are the next generation that's coming forward to shift things. Um yeah. But to speak to kind of the change, so like Saturn, Uranus, um, well, Pluto, but Saturn and Uranus are all about the transformation and change. And you just described retrograde.
Yes.
when we go back to old ways or we go back to old patterns.
Yeah.
So like the Saturn Capricorn that we've been experiencing since that launched COVID for us, right? Because Saturn moved into Aquarius. Do you remember at the beginning of this year?
Yeah.
Or was it Saturn? I think it was. Anyway, I think it was Saturn. And then it rolled back because it went into retrograde, because it goes
Mhm.
in retrograde for many months, and it rolls back into Capricorn. So we're back to the old because it retrograded back through.
And Venus is retrograde in Capricorn right now, right?
I think it's in, isn't it in Leo? I think it's in Leo. I don't know.
Let's check.
Check. Let's check. Are you going to pull it up?
I'm
Maybe
going
pull
to on the computer. No, I'm looking it up on the phone.
it up. Awesome.
Goes faster.
So me and Mariella were, while you look it up, I'll continue talking. So me and Mariella were talking about like there have been lots of interesting themes in our lives that are showing up. And I'm a big fan of Lee Harris and what he offers. And for myself, like letting go, oh gosh, I feel like I'm being shown all of my stuff. It's been very painful. But needing to be able to let that go and looking at my stories around pain and suffering, looking at my stories around scarcity, seeing it reflected back at me constantly in the world around me is fascinating. And so this taking care of self is really important so that we can have the space to be able to like hold that. Because when I lived in Calgary, I was very much like go, 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 always busy, busy, busy. And now that I'm in New Brunswick and I have less friends and less connections and more time, I'm needing to figure it out. I'm needing to figure out like a different way. Like I feel like I'm in this place that gives me enough space to detach and let go, but it's been very uncomfortable. Um, Mariella, you spoke about like becoming like a stronger witness to like the idea of like the masks that we wear. And really feeling those as you shift gears and roles in your life.
Yes. Um, I've been more aware than ever of how I present myself to people in different situations and in like when I'm with different people.
Mhm.
And I try to maintain my truth, right? That this is what I am and what I want to be. But at the same time, it's almost like sometimes I am just testing the waters with the other people first
Mm,
because I want to be able to know them first instead of going straight with what I am or what I think or
mm,
what I want.
mhm,
I've learned lately that it's easier if you have some level of communication with the other person to reach the goal that I want. And so that gives me some space before jumping into something.
mhm,
And it gives me some perspective from the other person. And so just listen and try to understand the other person. And then giving the other person bits of myself.
mhm,
And so that is like the max that I'm thinking of. For some people, it would be just listening of how they do things in their daily life. And there's other people that are more emotional, let them just vent about whatever is happening and just listen and then same giving bits of things to think about.
mhm.
unless it's somebody I really know. And so then I can just be fully myself.
Mhm. I wonder, do you think, now that I'm hearing you say this more, do you think that's like boundaries? Like, like stepping out in the world and being our authentic self is important, but not everybody has a right to that full energy of self.
It's almost like more respectful.
Hmm. Or more respectful of
I'm
yourself,
respectful
of
for
others,
the other
or
people
both.
and myself,
Mhm.
because I could start a war. Like with people, if I just go straight forward and say, "Oh, you did this, and you offended me," or whatever.
Mhm.
I could have done that before.
Mhm.
But now I'm like stepping back and just giving them the chance to explain maybe of where they're coming from. At the same time, I'm learning the almost the opposite of not being so flexy.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
And so I need this now. And I do know that this is what I need.
yeah.
And it's not just for me, but for everybody.
Mhm.
This must be done. And there's no exploring in that. There's some things that are
Yeah.
really important. And like you say, it's almost like I've learned more about my boundaries.
Yeah. Um, yeah, like that deeper knowing, but then that deeper knowing is also allowing, oh shoot, that spaciousness, right? Like there's more peace in that when we're, yeah, I like that.
But at the same time, being as kind as possible, right?
Yeah. Compassion,
Yeah,
compassion with
compassion.
ourselves, compassion with others. My
Yeah,
apologies. It's getting to be about dinner time, and I feel like everybody is driving down this road right now.
we can't hear that.
Okay. Lots of motorbikes.
Yeah, and you know what card I got?
Yes, tell me.
It's a card called Morgan's Blessing of Peace After Battle.
Oh, and it's the two crows.
Yeah, there's three crows.
Oh, there's three.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, I thought that was a wing.
yeah,
And the woman is naked, it looks like, but her face is white.
yeah, but she's covered by their bodies.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
I love
And
that.
so it's almost that idea, right? That I've I've learned from before with everything that has happened.
Mhm.
And now what am I going to do that is different? It's what we were talking about with the
Mhm.
old system and forming a new system for from
Yeah.
now on. Like how
Mhm. Yeah. Conscious, being more conscious,
yeah.
consciously
And
engaging
it
in life.
almost feels like a breeze, right? Like,
Mm.
oh, this is refreshing.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a really good talk with my sister.
Do you hear that? You probably hear that.
Nope.
You don't?
Nope.
Okay. You don't hear that?
No.
Okay, great. The cat's like meowing like crazy in the background.
Oh, he's excited about the new.
The new, yeah. Let his sound come and go. Um, but that's one thing I feel like, are you experiencing, I feel like things for me anyway are able to move through me a little bit more. Like I'll walk
Through me.
outside, but I think that it comes back to my letting go. Instead of like when I walk outside in this city, like a lot of times I'm gripped with sadness or like a longing for something different because of the relationship ending. Um, but I'll feel it and I'll be like, okay, like, yeah, that is sad. And what else are you hearing? What else are you feeling? What else are you experiencing? So, like, I'm not just gripped by things as much because there is more space.
I feel like you have been working on letting go for quite a while. Like I maybe, I'm not sure when I noticed it, but like you went to do the Camino de Santiago, right?
No, I
And
didn't.
no, you didn't. So it was when you went to India, it
Mm,
felt like that.
mm,
Just having the
mhm.
backpack and leaving, right?
Yeah.
And it's like a big symbol of letting go because you
Mm,
had to leave everything
yeah.
for some time, came back, you had less things than before, but then all again, leaving everything. And you had things taken from your car
Gosh, yeah. Yeah.
and letting go also of caring for your family
Mhm,
because you're such a big supporter and loving person
mhm,
for so long and you still love them.
mhm.
Now it's almost like you've grown up.
Mm, yeah.
Next stage.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Mariella.
Yeah, but it happened like from before COVID.
Yes.
It has been a journey.
Mhm. It's been a journey. It's been a journey since I met you.
The King of Pentacles.
So, what do you know about the King of Pentacles, Mariella?
It's a very grounded king. He has money and he makes sure that everybody's needs have been um, fulfilled.
Mm, that is a card I pulled.
And it has the dog, right? Very loyal.
Mm, yeah, I'm gonna look it up, but for some more insight. But what other cards have you pulled, Mariella?
So I heard the Morgan's Blessing of Peace After Bottle, and that was from the Blessed Be deck. But also I got two more from the first deck. So this one I was thinking of the first part of August.
Mm, mm-hmm.
So after July, how the energy would turn for the beginning of August. And then I got this one for the middle of August called A Blessing for the Right Words. And it's almost like, the new moon is coming in the middle of August
Mm-hmm. Yes.
and Mercury is going retrograde.
Venus.
Mercury on the 23rd.
Oh,
Yes,
really? Okay.
yes. And so, yeah, and Venus, you were right. It was in Leo,
Oh, okay.
retrograde in Leo. And so, um, Mercury will be retrograde, I believe, in Virgo, because that's the next sign.
Mm,
And the next full moon will be in Virgo as well,
mm.
right? At the end of August.
Um,
I'm not sure about that one. Or the new moon is in Virgo, Alex. Do you remember that?
yes, we will, but we'll, because it goes Virgo, then Libra, then Scorpio, correct? Why am I so confused
It's
on this?
Leo, Virgo,
Libra.
Libra. Yeah.
So yes, new moon in Virgo.
Uh, Anyways, it just makes me feel like it says a blessing for the right words.
Well,
And she
like,
looks like she's reflecting. She's not
mm-hmm,
talking.
mm-hmm.
She's more thinking than speaking.
Well, and I love, like, I forget, I can't tell if this, I never know the difference between like the waxing and waning phase of the moon, but this is either just before the new moon or just after the new moon because of the crescent
Mm-hmm.
of it. And you're right, she looks like self-reflective. It looks a little sad, but yeah, very introspective. Mhm.
Yeah. And it just makes me feel like, and there's a bird here. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, green bird.
It's almost like a
Mm,
message is
yeah.
coming into her ear.
Mhm.
And
Nice.
so it just feels like there will be more truth coming out.
Mhm.
And then, but as using a better way of communication.
Yeah. And what one's for the last?
The last one was a blessing for a fresh start.
Wow, love it.
Mhm. Yeah. And she's ready with her broom.
Mm, cleaning stuff up.
Uh-huh. Like letting go.
Yeah, getting ready to
Launching.
fly.
Yeah, we're ready to fly.
Um, that is a big part of the time right now is the like I feel like we say this all the time, but like literally like letting go, but starting new. This Leo energy is very starting new, and the Venus retrograde is very starting new as it shifts moving forward again, which will happen in August too. So those feel really aligned in a grounded way, which is kind of nice. Hmm.
And then the Lion's Gate on the 8th. That's tomorrow.
Yes, 8 8 8
Oh,
8.
yeah. Today is the 7th.
Mm. Mm-hmm. And tell me about the Lion's Gate. No.
um, it's a big portal that comes every year. And the lion, from what I've heard, do you remember that Osho card with the lion and the lamb?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so the lion is strong. And what I heard is that the lion is hungry for life,
Mm.
and its chakra connection is with the solar plexus, and of
Mm.
course with Leo. And so this year it seems like the lion is wanting more life than other years,
Yeah.
looking for that love. The lion is not wanting to destroy everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's more looking to be the king with love. And that's
Mm.
what you were talking about, Leo, as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like coming from the heart, from
Mm-hmm.
within,
Yeah.
and being this powerful being.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, it will bring us this reflection of, I need to do this, or I have to go through this challenge. Am I going to be fearful, or am I going to be courageous and do it?
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, what am I going to do now? And it's almost like that portal or that big front door where we are starting this new whole stage in history, right?
Mm-hmm. 100%. Yes. Mariella, I always love how you share these things. It's so insightful. I just love it.
Well, I get inspired by other people too.
Oh.
But yeah, love
Mm-hmm.
reflection.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. For the King of Pentacles, an affirmation that is offered is, seed by seed, I plant my future with my rock steady foundations of faith. So again, the idea of
New beginnings.
beginnings and doing it from like a grounded place, a place of
Mhm,
truth to who we are, or
mhm.
whatever that might be. But yeah, the seed planting. Mm. And did you have any other cards today that you wanted to share or pull?
I got these ones from, what is it called? Earth Magic.
Mm-hmm.
I got 3 as well for beginning, middle, and end. I did hear from somebody, can't remember which of the astrologers, forgive me, but for the new moon in August, which I think is on the 13th, then it's going to bring some water energy, and it will be almost like a shower
Mm.
for ourselves. And you know, water is the symbol of emotions and feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be like a splash of feelings.
Mm.
And so this person was saying, if you could take a day off to be with yourself on the 13th, you can do that. But just be aware, if you're a person that is very sensitive and emotional, you may feel more than usual.
Mm.
And so the first card was rain and purification. And that's why this
Mm-hmm.
other information
Mm-hmm.
came to my mind. Rain, and then tsunami with wake up call.
Uh-huh.
So it's more water, you see?
Yes.
It's a lot of water. And this one has the full moon, and this one too. It's
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in here. This one is the ocean, and this one is the rain by the river.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be a moment of purification, but also I got childhood and innocence. Not sure if maybe that would mean like us dealing with our inner child,
Mm-hmm.
because our inner child is very sensitive
Mm-hmm.
and connected to universe and nature, and that feeling also, you know how we were talking with Alex about not knowing and feeling comfortable with not knowing. So, you know, when you're a child in your innocence, you don't have expectations, or you really don't know about
Mm-hmm.
much.
Yeah, well, there's a little bit more like filled with wonder, like when we think about the idea of like
Yeah,
beginnings or like letting go of something for something new, there's that genuine curiosity and exploration that kids have, seeing things with like fresh eyes, um, and wonder, kind of like the fool in the
yeah,
tarot, right? Like just, stepping forward into it and just being, fully curious and present.
yeah. When you're a child, when you are very young, you have this intense feeling of knowing what you want, though, or
Mm,
what you need.
hmm.
And so when we don't have so many thoughts in our head, so many things going on, then there's like the little space,
Hmm.
and then you can connect with yourself and actually know what you need.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so it will be interesting.
Yeah. I'm feeling and hearing that August, although it might not feel as like tumultuous, even though some of those cards make me feel questioning.
Maybe
It's
for
still gonna,
somebody somewhere.
yeah, it's still gonna be a lot, but it's um the newness, like the rewards, like we get to reap the rewards of the shifts and things that we allow, right? Like there's,
Mm.
yeah, new opportunities if we let it. Otherwise, we're just fighting against it. And like you can't fight against water. You can't fight against your emotions. Like you can fight them,
No, they just
but
come.
yeah, yeah, if you fight it, it's going to be a freaking tsunami for sure.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, but I love like I feel like I've been doing lots of inner child work. So one of the things I've been doing is I'll look down like at baby Alex
Mm-hmm.
and I will check in with her in my imagination and I'll just like look down and I can see her in my mind's eye and just say nice things to her and hold her. And if I'm feeling like anxiety or tense in my body, I'll kind of like turn and look in towards her in my arms and see like what she might be needing. So like one time she was like teething and very uncomfortable. Or one time she was having a hard time sleeping. And it was just really interesting to try and do that inner child work. Um, and I feel like that is some of like that reprogramming that we can do of letting go of those old stories because we can change anything, we can create anything really. We just have to be able to let go of those other pieces um, that we're just gripping onto for whatever reason.
Yeah, I really like what you said. It just came to my mind, this month is also a moment where you can just step back and observe. And like you were doing with your inner child and just holding your baby self.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like detaching yourself from your what you're leaving or your emotions at that moment and just looking at yourself from aside and
Mm-hmm.
comforting yourself.
Yeah.
It's such a good idea.
Yeah.
Because when you're comforting somebody else, sometimes it's so easy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Come here, let me help you. And giving just the right words to comfort the other person. Um, and so just having that visual in your head of yourself. And I know that you're feeling this way and you're going through these things, but this and this and this will make it better.
Mm-hmm.
And do you need a massage? I'll give it to you, but it's actually giving it to yourself.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's some work that I've been doing is meeting this baby. And so I definitely recommend the practice if people
Mm-hmm.
do it, if you're able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, are there any last things you'd like to share, Mariella, before we sign off today?
Just want to share what when we were getting ready to record, we were talking, and there were some L words that came up. So it was lion, leadership, love, and life for this month,
Mm-hmm. And letting go.
and letting go. Mhm.
Okay. So August 2023. Can you
It's a
believe it?
beautiful month. Feel good type of month.
I guess.
The middle of the summer.
Summer has a very sad energy to me that
Hmm.
I've been touching into, like just deeply recognizing the sadness that comes up for me in summertime. So it's something I'm also exploring.
Uh-huh.
Because I get sad in
Mm-hmm.
the like there's something there.
Mm-hmm.
So
It'd be interesting to know what you find about it.
mhm. So August, let's keep going in. Let's
Yeah,
keep
and I
going
want to
in.
know how you feel next August, if anything changed.
Ooh. Stay tuned, everybody. August 2024, it's happening.
Yeah,
Okay, well, hello, little kitty. I love you, Mariella.
yeah. Back to you.
And thank you, everyone. Take good care of yourself. Feel the feelings, and be tender. Be tender.
Don't be afraid.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, till next time.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.